Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Hearts of Iron 4 playing as the Kingdom of Romania. We just finished the Balkans dominance focus. Let's take a quick look-see and see what that offers us now. So, puppeting Bulgaria is going to be an option once we have 400,000 men in the field. Same with aligning Hungary. Both of those could be pretty good. If Hungary refuses, we will have a war declaration goal we can use against them and try to conquer them, which I actually prefer over puppeting. I don't much like puppets. Just because you get a lot less factories out of it, so meh. We could work toward fortifying the borders. We could work on getting some army maneuvers for extra army XP and working toward better divisions. Or we could work toward national defense industry, which will get us some free military factories, which I think I prefer. So let's go ahead and start working down an industrial focus path. Seems fine. All right, what are we missing as far as resources? Still the same as before. We are exporting a bit of oil, which is getting us some extra civilian factories. We can use that to build things a teensy-weensy bit faster, so that's okay. It's acceptable, I guess, kind of, sort of. How are the troops looking? Still have nowhere near enough supplies. Logistics. Working on the infantry equipment, support equipment. We have no tanks, but that's fine, and artillery will be fine. So what I'm going to probably do then is focus on infantry equipment and support equipment. This should be enough artillery for a little while at least. We're going to need a lot of it, because I do plan on converting my divisions to having mostly artillery. Well, having some artillery. So stockpiling a lot of artillery doesn't hurt me too much. But we do need to get some infantry equipment and stuff going so I can field more troops. Concentrated industry is done. Good. That increases production. And mechanical computing so that we can research things a little faster. And once again, the king throws a party. I'm going to go ahead and accept the 90 political power loss so we can keep our consumer goods relatively low. Let's focus on a couple more research paths. It is November of 1936. I could take the ahead-of-time penalty. It's not huge. Or I could focus on some other stuff. 1936. This is all kind of fine as is. Support companies, I could start researching. Tanks in preparation? Let's go ahead and start improving our artillery there. And go for excavation so we'll have extra resources to trade away, because I do think that I'm going to go for free trade. I kind of like free trade in this game. Yes, the problem of sending a lot of your resources to market means that maybe you find you're creating a bunch of deficits for yourself. But by giving away or trading away so much extra materials, I'm getting civilian factories. If I have to spend a fraction of them getting some of those resources back, not a huge deal, and in the meantime, you get extra factory output, construction speed, research time reduction, and so on, as opposed to anything else here. I mean, there are some reasons, in theory, to go for export focuses, or limited exports, or a closed economy, but I generally find free trade to be pretty darn good if you have a surplus of a particular resource, which we do in oil. Also, as we start moving south, and hopefully conquer some people, like, let's say, Greece, there'll be a fair bit of other resources to give away. So maybe even from Yugoslavia we could trade away a lot of stuff. It wouldn't be bad. I would like to have free trade, so we're going to go for it. Alright, what else is going on over here? How is Spain looking? Looks like the nationalists are going to be making some significant pushes, which is really no surprise to any of us. Nationalist Spain usually wins. I'd give them about a 75% chance of winning, but I'm sure someone's done the actual statistical analysis in the past. That finishes off our focus. We get some extra military factories. Nice. Anti-Comintern Pact. Germany proposes that we sign a pact recognizing that the aim of the Communist International, known as Comintern, is to disintegrate and subdue existing states by all means at his command. So we could join anti-Comintern, which the Soviets will dislike, but the Germans will really like. And we're probably going to go ahead and have to do that. I really don't like the Soviets. I'm never going to be on their side. So let's go ahead and join that. That seems fine. It's actually really interesting looking at the ideological differences between the Soviet Union and the German Reich. Some people make comparisons saying that both had some similarities, being, National Socialists versus Communists. Really, one is kind of more of a globalistic, like, massive empire sort of thing, where one is nationalistic, but anyway. National focuses. We could continue working down the industrial path, which I will do with agrarian reform, which reduces consumer goods by 5%, which means our civilian factories will be more effective, which I like. That is to say, less of our factories are being used to create goods that the civilians want, like luxury goods. The example they give are toasters. Less of that crap and more military stuff, more government-run stuff. You know, that's what we want to do. New research, what should we go for? December of 1936. I guess we could start moving towards something else now. And I'm going to go for construction so we can build factories a little bit faster, which gives you kind of... It's almost as good as getting an efficiency increase because you have more factories to work with. All right, let's increase our support equipment, a bit more infantry equipment, I think, and towed artillery. It prioritizes units based on the top here, so our first two next factories will go toward infantry equipment, then support, then artillery, and frankly, that's fine with me, because I think that's what we need the most of. We could trade for a bit more steel, but -5 is not the worst thing in the world. Once it gets to like -8 is usually when I will spend up a factory, because there's no real benefit to having a surplus of a material. So if we use a civilian factory, we get one less factory to build stuff with, and a surplus of 3 steel, because it's 8 materials per factory. So I'd rather kind of eat the -5 cost and not have any value lost from using up one of my civilian factories. At least that's kind of my mentality around it. I don't know if it's a good one, but that's kind of my thought process. Anyways, we have a bit of army experience, which means we could start changing up our divisions, which is tempting. But I think I'll hold off on that for now. Later I will. But we do know that if I do go down an army path, I can get the division template that I'm looking for free. So we'll go ahead and do that instead and gradually transition these people over to it. Alright, how are we doing on logistics? Still missing a lot of infantry equipment. Still working a bit on the support equipment. Motorized and artillery are now stockpiling. Good, I'm going to need both of those in order to add some extra support companies and stuff like that. Field hospitals, artillery, blah, blah, blah. The tanks are the only thing we're not going to be working with, I think. We can modify the government. Okay, so I could go toward free trade now, which means cheaper research and better factory output, and I think I'll go ahead and do that. It's going to trade our trade system up quite a bit, but you can see that we're immediately exporting away some of our extra oil to get more factories effectively. We also are now in the negative for aluminum, or aluminium, but -1's not a huge deal, so we'll go with it for now. The important thing is extra civilian factories means faster construction. And we should go ahead and prepare for building some more factories, let's say there. Then probably a little bit of infrastructure here, so I can make just better efficiency, better use out of military factories and stuff later. That seems okay to me. It's going to take a little while before anything really interesting happens, though. Recruiting still lacking so many darn supplies. Please finish this up ASAP. That would be nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, actually, I'm not going to work on the artillery. I'm just going to focus mostly on getting infantry equipment and support equipment. Agrarian reform, excellent. Consumer cost reduction, and the king's stupidity is no longer coming back to bite us, but he'll fix that soon enough, I am very certain of it. Okay, so if we go over here, we can work on getting some free infrastructure, which will eventually lead to getting either civilian factories, or we can start inviting foreign motor companies to come over here and try to get cheaper, I don't know, motorized, I think it is? Let's see. Yes, we could invite people like... Oh, wait, where is it? Hang on. Ford, yeah, and stuff like that. It's motorized and mechanized reductions in some cases. We could do that, but I'm thinking that the civilian factories are probably going to be more useful to me overall. How much am I going to really worry about motorized and mechanized? I mean, a bit. But I'm not going for the mobile warfare path, so it's not quite as important as it used to be. Not quite. Superior firepower, we have the first one done. Moving down the line, we can go for delay, which increases our organization and enables a new tactic. And more tactics can result in better combat performance. So having more doctrines in your opponent is a pretty substantial advantage. If you can get there. Honestly, against like the Soviet Union and stuff, I don't expect that to happen. But against Hungary, Yugoslavia, and Bulgaria, maybe. You never know. It can absolutely happen. Interwar artillery is done. Good, we've improved those a little bit. Could start working on something new over here, but I don't think I will. Instead, let's go for some extra manufacturing. Factory output or production efficiency cap. Between the two, I'm going to go for concentrated industry, I guess. They're both really good. I'm not sure which one is technically better. Believe it or not, my experience with Hearts of Iron 4 is relatively limited. I've only played through probably a couple of games, but I understand a lot of the base mechanics behind it. It's not too complicated, it's just sometimes it's very difficult to pull off. you know, but still. Nationalist Spain is winning this one pretty handily, so I'm expecting them to finish relatively soon. When that happens, maybe we'll get some extra world tension, which I can use toward a partial mobilization of the economy, and hopefully that makes us more effective. And once again, the king does something he's not supposed to. Factory output minus 25% for 120 days. Ugh! I think I'd rather have to lose the political power, which really sucks, but that's a huge factory down output reduction. All right, with that done, with the extra infrastructure, let's go for the extra civilian factories so we can build things a little faster. The Hindenburg incident. Ooh, disaster was narrowly averted today. So the Hindenburg did not explode. Ooh, we've already gone down an alternate history path, guys. That's going to change the outcome of everything. Probably. It doesn't really matter, but they have a couple of those. The Hindenburg, Amelia Earhart, stuff like that. Excavation is done. Extra resources which I can trade away using my free trade. I do like that. Alright, we can start working on radio. We definitely will want that at some point. I could work on the anti-air, but I don't have a lot of production yet. Start prepping for tanks later? Maybe companies. Recon companies and field hospitals I'll definitely want. Actually, that may be our best option right now. Well, we could go for radio. Let's go for radio, since, before I forget, we will want that extra reinforce rate. Makes it easier for us to join neighboring fights. Pretty useful for beating down your opponents. In fact, I would say essential. So we'll do that, because I'm hoping to fight Hungary and or Bulgaria relatively soon-ish. Man, this is taking forever. Okay, smokes. Yeah, it's all about that infantry equipment right now. How are we doing as far as our construction? Okay, construction 2 just finished, which means we build a little faster. Still working on some extra military factories. How's the trade? Okay, let's go ahead and trade for a little extra steel now. There we go. That reduces that efficiency a little bit. Produce that infantry equipment faster, please. Thank you. Always takes forever, though. All right, so the extra infantry artillery will be very useful. Now, we could use our extra army experience to start changing up some templates, try to get some more people on the field. And keep in mind, we do have a field marshal that reduces combat width, so we could actually go up to 22 combat width instead of 20, and that would be okay. Not sure if that's something we want to do or not, though. Alright, so the research there is done. We could go for excavation, but I think I will go for the improved machine tools, since production is what's killing me right now. Yeah, we're actually getting close to having enough stuff done for reinforcements. I could actually say a higher equipment priority goes to training more men. Which, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and switch that around and say that this is the priority here. Let's go ahead and start getting some more troops on the field so I can start working against Bulgaria and Hungary. It's about this time that we want to start making a push and flexing our muscles if we can. Alright, we can modify the government. Can't go for the civilian partial mobilization yet. Still waiting for an extra 10% world tension, which should happen soon. Since we're on a historical focus, Japan and Germany will both do some stuff they're not supposed to. Could work toward getting a new political advisor. Infrastructure and civilian factory construction speed, We're not building civilian factories. Infrastructure we are occasionally, but not a lot. Prince of Terror? No. Political power gain from a backroom backstabber. None of that seems too important to me right now. Could work on some better military staff, but I don't think that's important yet either. Could get some extra manpower, but we're not hurting from manpower. That's not what's stopping us. I really think we want to work toward that partial mobilization. I'm going to sit on the political power for a little bit, basically. Ooh, leadership purges in the Soviet Union. Okay, this is one of the weakest states that the Soviet Union is ever going to be in. Because they did just purge their officers, which reduces their organization to start off by 50%, and it gradually improves over time. Which means it's very, very easy to rout their armies, but we obviously don't have enough troops as it is. Could go for those extra civilian factories and another 12 steel, which I think is very useful. Or some extra military factories and cheaper air research. I'm going to go for the steel. That should translate into extra civilian factories, which means we get extra military factories. So the sooner you get lots of civilian factories, honestly, the better. If I were playing as somebody like Germany, I probably would do a lot more of those, but with a small nation like Romania, we really do need as much stuff as we can. Alright, still looking pretty good. Exporting a fair bit of oil. to get those extra factories. That's nice. Procurement reform is gone. Okay, so the king can do stupid things again. Stupid king. How are we looking as far as recruitment? All right, we're starting to get troops ready. Good. Really need to deploy some more people in the field. Really, really need to do that. Come on, Germans or Japanese, do something stupid. Do it. Do something stupid. Upset the planet. It's actually kind of cool. When there's world tension, it's like there's a little explosion and the world like starts catching on fire. Kind of funny. But, oh well. We're up to 31 factories now, which is a pretty stark improvement for where we were at the beginning of the game. We will eventually need to get up to 50 in order to unlock the University of Bucharest. You have to have more than 50 factories in order to do that. There's the steel. Let's start working on the extra military factories like so. Radio is done. All right. Could work on radar, but I'm not sure I need that right now. Good on this. Could go for excavation, or could start working on some other stuff. 1937, nothing important there. Companies? Field hospitals and stuff, maybe. Or maybe recon. We definitely do need to do this. Let's start working on recon companies. And I think we will go for the next level of excavation, so we have more stuff to trade away. It's going to have to be good enough for now. The Marco Polo Bridge incident between the Japanese and the Chinese. Okay, that's a tiny bit of world tension. Not enough, but it's something. We could get rid of the cavalry and start replacing them with better infantry, and that would use up a bit of my manpower. But we need another 150. All right, the king did something stupid. Let's reform the process, because production efficiency again. And I don't think I care as much about equipment conversion, so we're not going to worry about that. We are 0.2 years ahead of time on this, so I'm not going to worry about getting the computing machine quite yet. Don't need to research any planes or ships yet. It's not too important. Our naval game is going to be very weak, no doubt about it. I'm going to go ahead and start researching the field hospital, since we have a bit of motorized and support equipment, I hope. No, we're still actually lacking the support equipment, but yeah, it's really all about that stupid infantry equipment. That's what's killing me. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. Just need a bit more. The good news is we're not out of steel, so production efficiency should be gradually going up and improving this. We're up to 50 per day. And did we just train up some more troops? We did actually successfully train up some more troops. Okay, divisions are getting finished. Just go ahead and set this to infinite for now. Just keep making more men as it's available. Field that manpower, by God. All right, new technology. We finish up with another doctrine. We can go for some extra defense for all infantry and motorized mechanized. Also, elastic defense as a tactic, which is pretty good. Doctrines do take a long time to go through, so I'm going to just keep making steady progress on this, I think. Unlock those extra tactics. Come on, world tension! All right. You know what? I am going to go for the backroom backstabber and get some extra political power. It's taking a while. Watch it happen like right now up to 15%. I'll be really sad that we missed out on partial mobilization. But it's fine. It's fine. There's invest in the IAR. We can work on some extra oil to trade away, which I'm fine with. Let's do that. Japan declared war up to 12%. Okay, that's something. And Italy claims Yugoslavian territory. The powder keg of Europe and all that. And now we're up to 15%. Okay, hang on. We can do it! Partial mobilization. Nice. Switch away from that civilian economy. Now we have less consumer goods, which means we have extra civilian factories going toward construction, or at least we would if we were using any of that. Let's go ahead and build some more here, 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 and here, and here. Lots of military factories. Start working on all of those, please. 20% now, world tension. Japan is doing a lot to upset the world. Okay, though, that's pretty good. Pretty good progress. So now these are constructing... Actually, they'll be done pretty much every couple of months, which is not bad. Yeah, actually a couple extra factories per couple months. That's good. That's very good. All right, insufficient resources. Could start working on the steel, but again, I think I'll hold off on that. We're not even close to the production efficiency cap anyway. So we'll sit back and wait. Keep producing that equipment. Please, 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 and please. I think... if we're not going to have 50 factories, then what we probably need to start doing is working down this army tree and try to get that extra template that I'm looking for. We don't have enough men to start bullying Hungary, which is really what I'm holding off on. Civil war is done in Spain. Nationalist Spain wins. Okay. Yeah, please, please, please get some more men on the field. Looking good. Starting to actually get these resources out here, which is fine. No longer have the effects of procurement reform. All right, that sucks. Good. All right, we're starting to finally actually catch up on this stuff. Nice. And once they're all trained, they'll automatically deploy. 400. 400 is the magic number. And then we will demand Hungary. Bulgaria, I'm fairly convinced, is going to submit to us no matter what. But if we do Bulgaria first, I think Hungary will also submit. Which, again, I prefer to conquer them and have their factories directly rather than puppet them. So I'm going to go for Hungary first, since I know they're less likely to submit. The Anschluss of Austria. Okay, Austria has voluntarily joined the German Reich. Fools that they are. Hungary demands the right to rearm. Citing the ever-worsening political situation in Europe and the complete failure of the League of Nations to stop this, Hungary has publicly announced that they will seek to secure the support of neighboring countries for a revision of the Treaty of Trianon, so they can remilitarize. We do not want this. We're going to say no, because we do not want them to be armed, because I plan on conquering them. There we go, a bit of a conflict of interest going on there. Can't go for the university. Whoops, hang on. Can't do anything else here, so yes, let's go for the army maneuvers and start working toward that template. France intervenes. France is recommending it? Usually Germany recommends it, but France is suggesting we let Hungary rearm. No. Screw you, France. We know what's best for us. So, absolutely not. You may not rearm Hungary. I'm keeping it that way. Uh-oh. The world's starting to catch on fire. Alright, we can modify the government again. Probably we'll want to go for some manpower relatively soon. That's at 112, limited conscription. Yeah, we're probably going to do that next. Let's go ahead and do that now. Extra manpower, recruitable population goes up to 2.5%. Did I not click it? Hello? Did I not actually have enough? There we go. I think I was actually at like 111.9 or something. Technically not enough. Alright, that's another couple 100,000 we can use there. Perfect. Just need some more supplies. Train them all up. We're up to 319,000 now. Starting to finally catch up on the infantry equipment. Have a fair bit of spare artillery, which means I can start converting a lot of these units over to the Royal Guard divisions once those are researched through my national focus. If that's done before I have 400, fine. If it's not, then we'll have to just go for aligning Hungary first. Kind of do a big blitzkrieg on them, and we're good to go. Excavation and recon companies are done. Good. Is 1938. Let's go for the computing machine. And don't really care about air and navy too much in this game, to be honest. Start working on the anti-air batteries, or we're already working on this stuff. Yeah, 1938. All right, we want the extra soft attack, or do we want this? Defense breakthrough. Let's go for the soft attack. That's probably better. Straight up more damage we can do to infantry units, which it looks like that's all that Hungary has at the moment. Doing good, though. Up to 347,000 troops in the field. Just a bit more to go, and we'll be done. King implicated in an embezzlement scandal again. We will lose the political power, which sucks, but oh well. Not much I can do for it at the moment. 357. That's right. Looks like every time we are putting out more troops, we're getting an extra 10,000 or so men. It's going to be a little while before these divisions are done. What I could do is immediately deploy them, even though they're not reinforced, since we have the manpower at least. Which may not be a bad idea. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So for you, let's delete your orders against Bulgaria, and instead deploy everybody... Whoop, don't delete those orders. Deploy everybody here. We're going to set an offensive line just along Hungary, like so. Actually, what really matters is Budapest. So let's just do this. There we go. That's our offensive line that we're looking for. Deploy all your troops and get ready to fight. Field hospital is done. Okay, we could put those in the troops, but we'll wait for now. Maintenance company and stuff I'll want eventually, but let's instead work on some support weapons so we can do more damage, better defense, and so on. They do not have much in the way of troops. In fact, we've done this quickly enough that I don't think that they've had a chance to do the secret rearmament in violation of the treaty, which is great. So yeah, let's use that to our advantage. They're going to be really easy for me to stomp down, actually. As soon as army maneuvers is done, I think what I do is I just deploy the infantry, even though they are not trained or reinforced, and then immediately switch to national focus so we can finish off Hungary. That makes sense to me, I think. We'll do that. Army maneuvers is done. All right. Force deploy all lines, which means we are now up to 415,000, which means we can start working against Hungary. I demand that you realign away from your fascist government, and hopefully you refuse and give me a war goal to kill you. That's what I'm going to go for. Now, one thing that's interesting, and I'm not sure if they fixed this or not, but I know when Paradox was doing like a development stream of this, if you wanted to go for a non-aligned playthrough and never play in a faction, and go down His Majesty's Loyal Government stuff, you had to have Hungary aligned succeed, right? It couldn't fail. So if it failed and you declared war and puppeted them, that wasn't sufficient. It actually had to voluntarily do so, and that was the only way to stay non-aligned. I don't know if they fixed that or not. I'm not sure if that was a feature, but it's what happened. So we'll see. Got a lot of army experience, which I could use to upgrade some infantry units and stuff, which is tempting, but again, I think I'll wait until we have that free division template and save myself the army XP, and then we'll just focus everything in improving that. How are we looking in production? All right, we're up to a bit more with infantry. Probably want to keep focusing on that for now. We are way behind in steel. Let's go ahead and get some more from the Soviet Union. There we go, another 8. That should help, thank you. And we just have to wait a few days. We'll demand that Hungary aligns. They are, in fact, training up some troops. They're all very low entrenchment. If we could declare war on them soon, that'd be great. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen yet. General is fairly confident that we could win. Our forces are way stronger right now, which is certainly true. We'll definitely just demolish them. And then those extra factories will mean I can start getting the extra research slot, which I do like. Playing this game on Speed 5, honestly, Hearts of Iron 4 is not a super long game. It's not like EU4, which will take weeks or months for a YouTuber to play through. Honestly, if we're doing daily videos on this, I might be able to get it done in 2 weeks. We'll see. Maybe 3. Probably 3. Procurement reform, alright, we could modify the government. It keeps saying that because we can do this, like, cheap aviation guy, which is better for air research time, better air attack and stuff, but I really like agility for fighters. So I'm not sure I want to spend the power on that. But that's what it keeps suggesting. Oh, crap! The Kingdom of Hungary did voluntarily align. No! That's not what I wanted! Realizing that military resistance would be impossible and pointless, the Hungarian government has decided to follow our suggestions and put itself at our disposal. Well, shoot! Hungary did become my puppet, whether I like it or not. I apparently had too many troops. He was feeling too confident. Okay, let's bully Bulgaria next, I guess. Shoot! I was really counting on that. Alright, let's go for integrated support. National focus, puppet Bulgaria. Let's go ahead and finish them off. And then, if we can get more people in the field, I guess we could try bullying Yugoslavia? Now, okay. Now, one time when I did a test game of this as Romania, what ended up happening, for some reason, is it created the Balkan Entente as a faction, my own separate faction, which I did not want. And somehow, Yugoslavia voluntarily joined the Balkan Entente that I didn't intend to create, and as a result, I was not able to try and divide them up and take their land, which made it really difficult for me to get strong and fight the Soviet Union. So that's what happened in a test game. Hopefully that does not happen again, but we'll see. Alright guys, go ahead and get prepared to fight Bulgaria. We'll try puppeting them next, but we do have to end this video, I think, so one puppet down, another one to go. They did align, so they're a non-aligned government now. Weird. Alright, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.